aren't they?
I certainly heard things, and I absolutely felt powerful intrusions of energy. And there is one thing I cannot explain. I was on the far side of the room when this happened.
In this place.
By day, the North Kapunda Hotel sits quietly on the same corner it has for over a century. Its trade, a few locals, and the tourists who've heard stories of ghosts in the cellar.
There is a youngish female there because this youngish female was spotted by the previous licensee, Sheila, who mistook her for her young daughter. Her partner at the time was counting the takings of the pokies machine, and this figure was standing in front of her partner, waving her arms around and doing all these fantastic... The partner didn't even know it was happening. So the person concerned is frivolous, curious.
Owner Heather Hogan knows there are other people here apart from paying customers.
The serviettes, they are just folded in a fan shape. But invariably because I've got them all sitting very symmetrically around the tables, and invariably they get turned and twisted in the mornings, and I go, "Gah, leave my table alone," and I go around and straighten them all up again. One night, seven off that big long table disappeared. My grandfather's clock. That's another thing in this hotel that is a bit of a mystery. It's got a glass face which opens for me to wind it up, and every morning, or not every morning, but 5 out of 10 say, it's open. And yeah, so I've got to come every morning and shut that clock face up.
But in the ominous cellar, she is definitely not at ease.
I've gone downstairs and I've sat on that heap of stones down there, and I think, what am I feeling down here? But I can't put two and two together in there at all, not at all. There's something quite, I don't know, something unhealthy down in that room. It just doesn't feel welcoming at all.
And what about these photographs taken in the cellar? Imagination?
At the back of the hotel, there's another staircase for the cellar. They have a pair of batwing doors, which are very heavy, full length of the doors. I shut them, and I'll get up in the morning and they're open.
So now it was my turn to try to capture on video the ghosts of the hotel cellar. What happened would both chill and challenge my preconceptions about how lost souls choose to communicate.
The stories these walls could tell. This feels... Just gotta keep breathing here keep breathing deeply, that is. Have a look at that. Jeez, that sight alone would scare you, wouldn't it? These are the doors where the photograph was taken of the spirit or whatever. That feels weird there, I'll tell you that. Where does that go? Window to nowhere. It's just from this point on. From this point on, it's really different, like degrees colder. Wow. Wow. This is where apparently was the room for the maid. Maybe the woman upstairs that floats around tidying things up. I think that there's something here. Hello? The screen isn't affecting my eyesight. And it is pitch black in here. What is that like? Down through these old tunnels. That looks... Oh, geez, I get it. Oh, boy. Oh, it's just strange. What's going on here? What are those things? What's that? It is very tiring, this. I'm in total darkness in an absolutely black room, cellar that is over 150 years old. What's that? Oh, shit. Okay, I lost my bearings totally.
Fear, isolation, paranoia, all could account for what happened so far, but nothing could account for what happened next.
I have to do this again because I may have not recorded what just happened, and I don't know how to actually rewind this camera to find out. At this doorway, I was filming the doors that open without the breeze, and the camera went off. No problems. I didn't press pause because the picture stayed on. The manual lever was in the on position, but the camera went off. I turned it to off, back on again, started all over. Entered this doorway here, and the camera went off.
3 times the camera stopped recording, just when I thought I'd captured something. This spirit was toying with me.
You've allowed me to see you on video. It was here. It was here. I am not going mad. Funny thing. I now know how people must feel when they say they saw a ghost or heard a ghost or felt a ghost or know a ghost exists. Maybe I deserve this, but it happened to me. I had this wonderful, frisky ghost, being, persona, thing, play a trick on me. And I can't prove it to anyone.
If there is a place in Kapunda that should be haunted, it is this place. The site of the original St. John's Church, and now the ruin of the girls' reformatory. Stories abound about rogue priests and the pain inflicted on female inmates. Many who came to work here died suddenly. There are tales of pregnancies, terminations, and unmarked graves. Today, many feel the dark presence of long-dead Father Martin in this room.
Presence came floating through here. I don't know where it came from exactly. It was somewhere over there. And the whole presence was, he was trying to smother me. And the feeling was, you know, I'm going to scare this guy half to death. And I just held my breath, closed my eyes and held my breath. And in the back of your mind, there's also the thought that you could die.
There are stories of a cold wind that blows from nowhere and a dark figure moving from room to room. And so began my third and final vigil, the one that would have the most startling ending.
There's been a lot of hurt in this place, a lot of sadness, and spirits are just caught in the middle world, and there's a reason they can't move on, and they're just trying to communicate with us. The only thing that can hurt me is if I panic, and I'm capable of that. Okay, this is the graveyard down the bottom of the hill Well, a super ultra infrared thingamajig, whatever it is. Jesus. In it I saw a flash. I tell you, imagination is a funny thing, but the breeze has come up. That tree on the left there, I'm getting severe chills down the spine here. I think that's probably good. All I can say is it gives me a chill. Somewhere else, but out here at totally different temperature to over the other side. And it's the back where Jesus, Father Martin's room was. I'm hearing a clear ticking sound. It's getting louder. Oh, it's like dripping water. There's no water out here. Can you hear it, or am I just going mad here? The room we're about to go into, two of the darkest rooms. This was the bedroom of Father Martin, apparently, who has played some pretty dirty tricks up here. They say, the old fireplace. In this room, they say a figure of a young girl is seen running out. This is totally dark, this room, to me. And the viewfinder on the camera isn't helping me. That's a peppercorn tree. Now, all I've got is my hand in here, and it feels cold. It's got to still be 28 degrees or something out there. I'm not saying that means anything. I'm just saying it's cold, and this is where the father apparently worked and maybe even died. Now, I'm in the bowels of this place now. This is the dormitory, and it's here near this fireplace where they've heard weeping, and they call it the weeping, oh, shivers down the spine, weeping nun. They call this the room of the weeping nun. You know, I can even hear my voice. It sounds funny. Oh, man. There you go. Down to the graveyard. Now, wouldn't you all love to be with me right now, eh? I tell you what. This is the old tree. Oh, shit.